All right, I'm back with another one, and this one's titled "I'm Homeless." I'm homeless. Help. And this is based on a true story. This is what happened to me. How I got there, it happened so fast that by the time I realized I was homeless, it was you know too late to react. I'm in the car getting my sweat on, but I'm gonna let this breeze hit me for a minute. But yeah, guys, fellas, um, beware of who you get into relationships with, and this video isn't to bash anybody or to put anybody down. I'm just speaking my truth. Now, could I have been better? Yes. Um, the situation was just fucked up, but I needed to go through that. I needed that, so um, I'm actually gonna thank. I'm gonna thank this person for doing what they did. They taught me though, for sure. Yeah, they spanked me, but I'm gonna come out on top though, and we'll see how that plays out. In the future when I'm living my best life. Can't say that I'm living my best life right now, but I am grateful. And anyway, man, get your shit together. Get your shit together, dog. Cause when you fall, ain't nobody gonna save you, bro. And that's just facts. Nobody. Your dog ain't gonna save you. And I don't mean your actual dog. No. Your dog as in your partner, your boy, your mans, your homie, all one and the same. Ain't nobody gonna save you, bro. But I learned that shit the hard way, bro. It made me a monster. I'm not even gonna hold you. It made me a monster for real. Man, bro. I was going through it. Like, bro, I was trying drugs I never tried before. I was hanging with people that I would never have thought I would have been around. And this is no shot to the people that I was around in that time frame because y'all looked out for me. And I'm not saying any names, but y'all know who y'all were. And I appreciate y'all for, the hand that y'all played in this situation because this shit was fucked up, bro. Like I said, when you're a chosen person, you always gonna have a ram in the bush. What that means is you always gonna have angels in disguise. They may not look like angels, and society might deem them as um, a certain type of person, and they may not be accepted, in society or whatever. But there are angels that don't look like angels um, by the society standards, not your typical churchgoers. Um, but yeah, they looked out for your boy, man, and it was a blessing. But let me tell you about this, man. I got kicked out. It's the start of spring, so it was hella rain and it was cold as hell. I had no coat, no jacket. I was working at Sonic Drive-In. I couldn't bathe. I was going to work in my same uniform for about a month and a half, almost 2 months to my duration of being homeless. It lasted me about almost 2 months, and it was the roughest patch of my life. And God was with me through it all, though. And I was broken. It broke me, and I could never see life the same again after what I experienced. Um, Beforehand, I was arrogant. I was entitled. I got complacent. I got comfortable. That was my first mistake. Never get comfortable, because anything can happen at any given time. And shout out to my, you know what I'm saying, my little partners. Y'all know who y'all are. I said my little partners. They know who they are. And it's no hard feelings on this side. I was just dealing with some nasty spirits and some spiritual warfare. But it's all good, and I'm gonna continue to live my life. I'm not gonna dwell on the past and hold that resentment. But definitely, I'm gonna continue to move forward and be the best that I can be. And to anybody that's going through a similar situation, I'm wishing you the best. I'm sending you love, and just hold on. And I hope that you get through what you're going through, because nothing lasts forever, even at toughest times. Best times don't last forever. The toughest times don't last forever. So just keep moving and don't stay stuck, and you're gonna be all right. But I remember camping out behind the job I was working at, and the supervisor, she could have called the cops on me, and she almost did. She told me, she said, and I'm not gonna say her name because I don't want to get anybody in any trouble. But I was before the tent, though. I had nothing. I had no money. No family in this town. Well, I did have family in this town, but like I said, I'm not here to bash anybody. I'm just speaking my truth. This stuff really happened, and this particular family member did look out for me, throughout that journey, and kept me sane enough to keep going, I would say. And what I'm saying, shout out to you. You know who you are. And toward the end of the journey, my other cousin came in, and he lended me a hand, and I ended up messing that up. Boy, I'm hard headed, but like I said, man, I was a bad dude, man. Bad dude. But like I said, I'm not here to portray to be the greatest person, man. I'm just here to be an inspiration and a light to people that that may have been through a similar situation. And trust me, what I went through, it was horrible, but there's people that had it worse, But for me, this situation, it was horrible. I remember walking 4 miles to the lake of that city that I was in to stay there, and finding out that I had to pay to stay there at the lake. I didn't have money to do that, but well, I did for one night. I stayed there one night, and it's just it was rough, and like I said, it taught me a lot. It taught me that nobody's just gonna pick you up when you fall. Nobody's obligated to either. You got yourself in this situation, you got to get yourself out of it. And even though technically I didn't get myself in that situation, it was still my fault, because I wasn't prepared for when this situation occurred. I wasn't prepared to face what I was face to face with, and sheesh, it hurt, it hit, and I just want to thank the ones that was there for me in that period. I remember not having any food, not any money to get food. I had to shoplift. I had to I had to do a lot of things, and I'm not proud of it. And but I had to do what I had to do to survive. And throughout this situation, something beautiful came about, which I'll expose at the end of the video if you stay tuned. And yeah, I had people that looked out for me in this time period. I remember going to work and not having a bath and I don't know how long, and I was just embarrassed because of this pride that I carried about myself. I was known on the social media and stuff, so people knew who I was. That's what made the situation that much more worse for me, is that people knew who I was, which that means nothing because no one is better than the next person. But that just goes to show you how much pride that I held within myself, and how I thought and how I saw other people. Not saying that I looked down upon other people, but I just felt like I was more important than I actually am. I'm not important. And like I said, the situation, it taught me. It was the biggest lesson thus far in my life, I would admit. And by far the toughest challenge that I faced. And I'm proud to say I made it through. But I couldn't have done it without the help of those who came and, gave me good vibes and gave me encouraging words, and those who let me crash for a night at their spots. Even though if I was not in this situation, I would have never paid these people a visit. Not to say that I thought I was better than anyone. I just never pictured this happening to me. Which so I'm bringing this up so that anybody that's going through this situation, just in case you end up in something like this, you'll know to to be grateful for who's there for you in that moment, and don't frown, just keep moving. And it hurts. I cried, and I begged. I would beg God every night, like, to take me out of this situation. And like, I was broken. Like, I felt like I lost my soul. It really hurt me. And like I said, I could never see life the same again. And I'm a very fortunate person because I have a social media presence which brings me revenue, but it's not the most money, but it's enough to to sustain a decent lifestyle. But the money comes in periods. So in that period, I didn't have the money. Like, I was generating revenue, but the money just, like, I'm not a huge creator yet, so I'm not generating a huge amount of money that fast. Now I'm generating more than ever, and that's a blessing. And like I said, before your biggest blessings, you're gonna go through the biggest test, and that was definitely a huge test. And my God, that hurt. And I can't believe that the person that I said that I loved, and like I said, I still got love for this person. I don't wish nothing bad on this person. Even though I did release a project titled I'll Explain Later, which y'all should go listen to, because that story, some of the details of the story, I don't want to make this too graphic for YouTube. I don't want to say certain things and get my video banned, or get a strike on my channel. It was some very crazy stuff that happened in that period of time. But yeah, man, I was homeless, and gosh, I just remember, man, like, my feet were bleeding because I was just walking hours and hours and hours and hours throughout the day, hours and hours and hours throughout the night, walking the whole city twice in a day. Almost got bit by a snake, almost got hit by a car. like, I mean, you just can't make this up. And yeah, this stuff really happened. And for anyone that knows me, y'all can vouch. And you know, if any of y'all watch my content, which I mean, I don't know, maybe you do, maybe you don't, uh, whatever. But yeah, but those who know me, they know that this really happened. And you should always, as a man, you should always get yourself together before you get into any relationship, because even though this person that I was in a relationship with lived with me for years, and I took care of this person before I fell, and then they did what they did to me, which I could have never done to them. That's what hurt me the most. But the people that you love the most are going to be the ones that hurt you the most. And that's just how it goes. And I just, I would cry every night and just beg God to take me out of this situation. I would never let anybody see me cry, but there was a time where I just broke down, and people saw me. They saw me break. And as a man that, I felt this tiny, breaking down like that, but I just couldn't take it. I would try to go back, home to the residence. I would knock on a window and ask my then partner, like, begging and pleading to let me in the home. They wouldn't let me in the home. Called the cops on me. I got rolled up. I almost went to jail. You know what I'm saying? Doing hardcore drugs. The stuff that involves, pipe. Laying pipe. Nah, but no, real talk. Yeah, I would have no food, so I was working at Sonic, and I would sneak food, and I would put food in my pockets just to have something to eat. I would be really weak. Like, I would be shaking. Like, my anxiety was high. I smelled real bad because I never got a chance to bathe. It was a lot, man, and like I said, I'll never forget that. I'll never forget what I went through, ever. And like I said, I could have never done this person like this. And I wasn't the best partner, I'll admit, but I wouldn't do that to my worst enemy. That just goes to show that you can't look for you in someone else. You you just have to take it for what it is and keep moving forward. But if you watch this video, give me a thumbs up, drop me a comment. I'll drop the part 2 later on tonight. My phone's about to die, but yeah, part 1, part 2, I'll detail a lot more. And yeah, thank y'all for tuning in. Please subscribe, and thank y'all for supporting the channel. Peace.